Welcome in. This is 300 Yards to Unknown. I'm Rick Gehman. That right there, Eric Patterson, EPAT. This is take number 3. We are having some technical difficulties. We are trying this again. Hello, how are you?
Rick, third time's the charm. Let's hope this is all on me too. So I apologize, but
I don't
here.
know
We're
about
going.
that.
I think it
might not be
probably
on you.
is. I mean, you've got a full setup studio over there. I'm running in. Yeah, you
Could be
realize that it
StreamYard.
definitely is.
It could just be StreamYard. That might be their
Let's
issue.
blame StreamYard then. But we're doing well. Riviera's here. Great tournament, great field. We were talking about it earlier, just about how fun and different this event is. So yeah, we're off to a good start.
Yeah, it is a course that with the firm and fast conditions, you can go low. You have to be exact. This is what we saw at the President's Cup. It's what we see usually at major championships. And I think that is the most fair way and the best way for golf courses to be. So I'm loving this week. It's phenomenal.
You get like you're one shot away or like a fraction of a yard here or there between a bogey and a birdie. So that's what makes it interesting and exciting. And I think you can't have it every week because we've talked about this. It's just a grind for these guys when it is really tough and you're battling to make pars all the time. But every once in a while, it's nice to see. And it's good that, this field, what is it? 11 of the top 15 players in the world are here this week. So this is like a little appetizer of like a preview of, if you will, of major season. So it's nice.
I can't think of another course that is as interesting as Riviera. So it's weird, right? 7,500 square foot on average greens, but which is on the large side, but less than, they're on the what am I trying to say here? Fewer guys hit the greens than like the tour average, right? So that kind of contradicts one another. You have one of the easiest holes on the PGA Tour. You have one of the hardest holes on the PGA Tour, and then you have number 10, which is that short little par 4 that you can make an easy 3 or an easy 6 on. I mean, there's like a little bit of everything out there.
I think the greens, yeah, like truthfully, I'm not going to say here I know every hole back like the back of my hand, but like the greens, there's a lot of false fronts. There's a lot of, runoffs at the back. Like, so like a lot of the square footage is unusable. So that's probably where the large greens come in, but they're still small targets, which I think is what makes it fun. These guys, if you want to get aggressive, you can pay for it pretty quickly, but should be a fun rest of the week here, just with the names, and everyone's kind of playing well. So yeah, it's phenomenal. Like I'm watching right now, JT's in the middle of a bunker on the 6th hole. Like the bunker's in the middle of the green, which is wild. And it's hard to get in there, but I guess players end up in that spot.
I always like it when the hole is on one side of the bunker and your ball is on the other, and they've got to figure out like, how am I going to go around this thing? Like, am I just gonna chip this? How am I gonna
over?
do this?
Yeah, they're good enough to pitch it over, but it makes the superintendent a little nervous when the guy pulls out the wedge.
Yeah, you got to clip that one pretty clean. The other thing is, I feel so, not that I feel bad for these guys, but like at 6:55 a.m. on a Thursday morning, and you have to go off 10, and you're like, oh God. Like, I know that I'm just like, this could be disastrous. It's cold. That hole is just covered in shade, and I've got to deal with this right out of the gate. And we saw, Colin Morikawa got smacked in the face on Thursday morning, made double right out of the gate.
Wearing a toque, looking miserable. Bam, two deep, and then he made bogey pretty quickly after that.
On the par 5 right after. He was 3 over through 2.
He was in a hole early. So yeah, it's I was like, why are these guys going off so early? And then I realized only one course this week. We've been, the California events have been giving us 2 course rotations, so they really got to jam them in for. It's only 120 guys, and they're starting really early. So.
I think we're done with that. I think we've already had our last 2 course or multiple course rotation. I don't think we get another one for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
I think it's only the West Coast. Yeah.
It's only the West Coast, and before daylight savings and stuff like that. And as we get into the summer, our days are going to get longer, so we don't need it. Also, next week is a quote new event. It's the same event, but it is now maybe the worst name that we have on the PGA Tour. I want to make sure I get this
Mexico?
right.
I don't even know if they still have Mexico in it.
No, they did not. So it is now called the World Golf Championships Workday Championship at the Concession.
Oh, Workday jumped in, right?
Workday jumped in.
So people were speculating that they're doing it to get Mickelson a sponsor's invite, because there's no way he's qualifying. And, this one's for you, Workday. He pulled that out at the
at the match.
So maybe they try to finagle Mickelson into the tournament somehow.
I would not be surprised. I was actually pretty confident we were going to see Workday in some capacity or another. I thought they were going to take over that Greenbrier spot on the schedule.
Didn't they take over Memorial?
Well, but that was a one-off event because the John Deere Classic got.
I'm very certain they've moved in as the Memorial's new presenting sponsor.
You're saying as
like the Memorial presented by Workday. I'm pretty sure that because Workday was working with Steph Curry to get an event in San Francisco, but I'm pretty sure Workday is now just taking over as a semi-sponsor of the Memorial tournament.
So that might be true. On the PGA Tour's website, it still says the Memorial tournament presented by Nationwide is what it's listed, but you're usually in the know about this stuff.
I'd like to think I am, yeah. Workday joins the Memorial tournament. Yeah, this is a December. They're definitely there. I'm not sure if they're taking over for Nationwide, but we're giving Workday a lot of love.
Well, they I knew they wanted to be involved. I mean, these tournament sponsorships don't come up often. I knew they wanted to be involved. It's why they jumped in for that back-to-back weeks at Memorial last year. And I was not surprised to see that they kind of got the nod for this WGC because because of the Phil stuff. Like they want to be involved in this. They want to, they think this is a really good spot for them, which, like I don't know what the value. I don't know what the value of like a title sponsor is, but they love this stuff.
It seems like they're getting the discount, like whatever goes on the discount rack, Workday steps in and takes it. But I know that they were working with Steph Curry to get the San Francisco tournament, but that's now gone. Like I don't think that's happening, but now Steph Curry is associated with the Memorial tournament. So that's the connection between Workday, Steph Curry, and the PGA Tour.
Interesting. Speaking of Phil, we are seeing listen, Father Time is undefeated. Phil's over 50. We've only seen a handful of 50 plus winners on the PGA Tour. It's kind of a different era from even those guys. Phil's PGA Tour career is certainly at the tail end, and apparently he is starting to think about other options, whether that is a larger schedule on the Champions Tour or EPAT. What I'm most excited about is potentially getting into the TV booth and providing some analysis.
That's what the reports are saying. I guess Front Office Sports is the first one to have this. They had quotes from his agent saying that he wouldn't be surprised to see Mickelson more in the booth in the next 12 to 24 months or something like that, 6 to 12 months. But definitely seems like the logical step for Mickelson in golf and moving forward, whether that's, I was just thinking like how cool it would be for Mickelson to play, or just do the majors, but then he's going to be playing at Augusta every year. So maybe you just get Mickelson at Augusta on the weekend or something, assuming he misses the cut or something.
Assuming he misses the cut.
Yeah, no, but like there's got to be a way like I don't know if you need him every week, but he could elevate a tournament just by being in the booth.
Where did he do that? There was somewhere he did that where so he missed the cut at the PGA and he hops into the booth. And he was phenomenal. And it was also the added insight of not only the on the course stuff, but like, hey, I played this yesterday and I'm Phil, and like the analysis.
I'm pretty sure he was there like Friday afternoon, so he's like, I played it in the morning and then he got into the booth and he was either way, he definitely added that element of like, I just played this hole a few hours ago and I know what this putt does or what the chip is. So like he was like, that was phenomenal. And maybe it's because it was new and Mickelson was like his first time, but I couldn't stop listening to him talk about it.
Yes, I completely agree. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was super entertaining. It was great. I'm kind of torn on this. So I don't see Phil grinding in the booth like 18 times a year or whatever, right? Like he doesn't sign a deal and travel all over and show up, I don't know how many times, 18 times, and call it every single week. But at the same time, I'm like, if anybody would, it might be Phil, because like if he's relevant, if he's talking, he can sell the coffee, he can do the sunglasses, he can do whatever's next, right? So like I kind of am torn about this. Like he obviously has enough money. Phil loves it. I just don't know what to expect out of something like this.
That's why I was trying to, in my head, lay out like a Mickelson broadcast schedule where he hits like the big ones. Like, he knows Pebble really well, so he could do that. Some of his other ones, the majors. I'm trying to think of what else is a Mickelson course. Maybe he goes back to Phoenix or again, you don't know what company he signs with, whether that's NBC, CBS, ESPN might step in and steal him. But it's going to be a lot of money for Mickelson to do it. But I just think I'm maybe it's because I watch every weekend. I'm just tired of Faldo being amazed by every single good shot on the PGA. He just he goes, wow, after anyone hits a 300-yard drive. He just can't believe it. He's stunned. And then there's Azinger, he doesn't bring much juice, even though he's new and should have a lot of good insight. It's just the two that they have now are mediocre in my mind.
So as much as I would love to see Phil in the booth, to me, these networks would be much better off not paying someone millions of dollars a year and putting more cameras on site and investing in the infrastructure, investing in, watch a European Tour event. Those guys just shut up. Right? They just show the golf. And I wonder, and again, I have no idea about this. I have no idea what the financials are, but I assume that paying a lot of money to announcers is not a great use of the funds. I would like to see the infrastructure back in place and just I don't care who talks or doesn't talk, quite frankly.
And that's maybe one concern with Mickelson is he might talk too much. He's been known to want to control a room, control a conversation. So
yeah, he's gonna have a lot of stories, and he's gonna have a lot of things to talk about.
It could become it could quickly become a sideshow. Maybe he runs out of those stories early, but you gotta find someone who finds the perfect balance of silence, insight, and then just being able to kind of talk off the cuff and add a little bit of entertainment value at the same time. But I think we'll see it. It's just a matter of how much and when.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Phil's going to be anybody's sidekick, right? But he's also not the guy that can carry the entire broadcast and make sure that you're getting out to the shots right. So it's kind of, I mean, if you watch any Saturday and Sunday, there are so many guys, right? I mean, you've got Nance, and then you've got Faldo, then they're throwing it over Ian Baker Finch or whatever. Then they throw it out. I mean, there's just there's guys for specific holes. There's just so much going on. I don't know how you'd have to rework that to get a film.
And then if you watch PGA Tour live in the morning, I don't even know who these announcers are, but they're just so many different voices, even on that broadcast too, that there's a lot of guys breaking it down. And sometimes they were talking today about how Colin Morikawa is rusty, and they couldn't believe he hasn't played since Hawaii.
My head exploded.
And people are losing their mind because it just takes one quick search on official world golf ranking to know that he played on the European Tour in Dubai not that long ago. So to run with this narrative about Morikawa being super rusty, hasn't played in over a month, is just, you're just not doing your research. You're not doing your job.
It was 2 weeks ago. He played 2 weeks ago. He played the same time Dustin Johnson did, right? It was the Saudi event. I was stunned when I heard that. And I don't know if it's just this, I don't even want to call it American centric. It's the PGA Tour centric. Oh, he didn't even if it's not on the PGA Tour.com's website, he did not play golf anywhere. So he must be rusty. And also even if he hasn't played in a month, do you think he hasn't picked up a golf club? I don't know what the idea even is. He's not rusty.
Neiman hasn't played since Hawaii. I'm almost certain about that. And he goes out and shoots 4 under. So it's these guys don't get rusty just because they didn't play in a month. They're practicing, they're doing it all. But yeah, I'm guessing in the media guide or whatever, the handout they give, they go last start, and it doesn't show.
I think that's exactly what happens. I think there's cheat sheets, right? There's hey, here's the last event, and it's there's a cheat sheet because there's always one thing about every single golfer.
Oh yeah, they hammer. The only thing they talk about.
Matthew Neesmith proposed on the 18th green at RBC at Harbortown, right? That they said it 15 times. So there's a cheat sheet that has one fun fact, where they went to college, the year they turned pro, and their last 3 starts, and how many times they've won on the PGA Tour, and it's all PGA Tour stuff.
And again, on the Morikawa point, Daniel Rappaport of Golf Digest tweeted that he was changing his putter grip. We kind of made a fuss about it. And these guys are I've never seen him do this. I'm not sure if he was doing it at the Sony. What is this putting grip he's using? What do we think about it? This. A lot of people on Twitter knew about this, and they're just kind of dumbfounded by the fact that he changed it.
Cole Swatton was he's using, I've never heard. It was pure shock. This has been quote unquote news, right? Danny Rappaport had this days ago. I don't know, man. I just don't know anymore.
Might be too many guys not I don't know. I don't even know who was surprised. It was just the voice on PGA Tour Live that would just shocked by it, but maybe they do other things and there's like, maybe it's a part-time job for them covering golf. I don't know what the deal is, but they just don't seem as informed as they should be at the same time.
Okay.
This is honestly Rick's rants. Is what
it's you. You get my blood pressure going. You know the right buttons to press to get me all fired up about this stuff. And like, obviously, I want it to be better. I wish we could come on here and be like, oh my God, the coverage was amazing. Or even like, yeah, the coverage was as expected. They didn't do anything wrong. I want to say that. Like, I want it to be great. So it's like, it is very annoying when these silly, easy things to look like one Google search away from all these answers are constantly being described incorrectly.
Yeah, they're just like out of the loop, and there's people in our circle who are more inside the loop, and then we're the ones, consuming the content, and they're trying to tell us things we already know as like it's news. It's just like I don't know. It's kind of backwards. When I want to watch a broadcast, I want to be informed by someone who knows more than me. But maybe we're just too deep inside the, we go down too far these rabbit holes. We know all the putter changes, all the club changes, all the grip changes. Maybe that's just on us.
I've actually a lot more recently. I mute the coverage, or I mute the TV and just listen to the radio. The PGA Tour radio
they're great.
It's just shot after shot after shot after shot, and leaderboard update and shot and like they don't even really give much analysis or anything or any of these. They can't. There's no time.
Yeah, and there's no if they're talking about stories, they're missing the coverage. They're missing what's going on. So that's why like you can just get lost watching golf and you look away and these guys are just blabbering about something and you miss a hole or two because you're just not interested in what's going on. But those guys keep you engaged on the radio.
Yeah, it's awesome, which I also can't imagine how difficult that is. So shout out, my buddy Doug Bell, my buddy Will Haskett, like doing a description of a golf shot. Like, okay, it's turning right at the hole. Oh, it just missed. Like, it's so funny. I love it. It has to be so hard.
Yeah, it actually adds more drama because he's lining up for a 6-footer. It's going to sweep to the right. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm on the edge of my seat listening to this. But TV, you're just like, oh, that's going to miss by like a foot.
Yeah, there was like putter back and through. He's looking at it. He likes it.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Maybe I'll just start doing what you do. Mute Faldo and the boys and just turn into their. They probably just don't do the same shots as what's on TV though.
Sometimes they do on the weekend.
Okay.
Because they'll still focus on the leaders and stuff, but you tend to get more shots because they'll also give you, even if the guy's not in contention, but he's in a similar group or he's on a similar hole, sometimes you'll get that too. So I just think it's a better.
I might have to give that a run.
Okay. So speaking of things that I am uninformed about, I want to talk to you about this NBA Top Shot stuff that you're tweeting about, and you're tweeting at people about, and you seem to know much more about this than I do. So from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong here, these are video clips of NBA games or of NBA plays that are kind of like trading cards where you open a pack, you get these, there's serial numbers. Some are more rare than others. They have inherent value. You can buy and sell them. Is that like the basis of this?
Very Cole's Notes. Yeah. That's pretty much spot on what it is. If you want to dumb it down to they're just video clips. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. So then, and I don't necessarily agree with this because I've thought about this a lot. Most people would say then, Eric, how is there value in something that I can find on YouTube?
All right. Well, I'm going to preface this entire thing by saying I am by no means an expert at any of this. It's something that I found interesting and different, and it was kind of booming. So I started doing my research and getting involved a little bit because it was something unique. So the value, that's what the question was. Why is there value in something I can just go watch on YouTube?
Right.
So the quick rebuttal for me is, do you understand the value of like trading cards, right? Sports cards, they put numbers on them. Sometimes they're autographed, which is cool. Sometimes there's a piece of jersey, which is
it's a rookie card, or it's whatever.
A rookie card. They're numbered to like 500 or whatever, and then there's inherent value because there's a scarcity of them. You obviously own the card. You're in full possession of the card, so therefore that is value. But at the same time, I can go look up a picture of that card, and if I really want to, if I want to pretend that I have it, I can just print it off in my computer, and I, put it into a plastic sleeve, and I say I have the card too. But you don't have the original, and obviously yours, it's obviously a made up replica. So what these video clips are is they use, again, I might be out over my skis here.
Okay.
But basically it uses what's called a non-fungible token, which is like a crypto. It creates a digital asset of the video clip. It makes it scarce. It gives it ownership. You can track like every single transaction of this moment, of this digital.
It's all on the
video
blockchain,
clip.
right?
Yeah,
so it's all transparent. It's all
all that jazz. Again, I'm not doing it justice in trying to sell people on it, but the value isn't in just the clip itself. It's in the scarcity of what that clip is associated to on the blockchain.
Right. So it could be, so just for transparency on my end, I really love the idea of this. I'm not an NBA guy. Like if there was PGA Top Shots, I would probably be in there constantly. And I know they're going to do like what, UFC and
UFC.
I
don't know if there's more, but I know Topps is on top. Like the trading card company Topps is getting into digital trading cards too. So it's starting a trend.
So it's really smart in the way that, I mean, like you could call it digital art, you could call it whatever. Anything that is scarce, anything that has a supply and demand has value. So I don't even care about the value of it. The idea of doing it this way, I think, is interesting because when you compare it to the trading card market, the two biggest issues with the trading card market are reproductions, or people creating fabrications or fakes, right? That's a big issue. This removes that. It's all on the blockchain. It's all, like you can't fake it, right? Like everything's authentic, right? Am I
understanding? Especially with Top Shot, because it is NBA licensed. Like some guy's not just clipping videos from YouTube and selling them on eBay or whatever. Like this is all in one marketplace.
The other thing is now that trading cards are so hot and everything needs to be graded, there is a huge backup on grading, and all of it is, and you can argue like there's a system in place, but if your card comes back a 9.5 or a 9 instead of a 10, that's a lot of money, and someone is grading that kind of whether they're doing
almost
it objectively or not. Yeah. So
and that process takes, I think the waiting list right now for if you send one in is like half a year.
Right. Yeah. Months.
And the market could switch in that time period. So it's complicated from that aspect.
So these Top Shot clips are all authentic, and they're all quote unquote 10s, right? Because there's no grading. Right. No. So I do love the idea that two of the biggest things that could hinder a trading card market or any collectible market have kind of been removed. So I really like that. You talked about licensing of this. So this is licensed through the NBA. What happens if that relationship
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if they could still, I'm guessing they could still trade them, but they wouldn't be able to create new ones. That's my guess. So if their licensing agreement with NBA ends, then they almost might make them more scarce in a way.
I was going to say that it might be better for business.
Yeah. Like if you stop producing all of these and they're still, and maybe say another company in the space comes and recreates their own, they wouldn't have the original, NFT, non-fungible token, like digital assets of Top Shot. Like this, it would just be a different brand. Like this, they might be able to exist on their own without the licensing. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but there's a lot to like about it. There's obviously a lot of concerns, and I don't think a lot of people are like, oh, this is, again, goes back to like the autograph thing. Like there is something valuable about having like a player's autograph or a piece of their jersey that they wore or whatever, had in a picture, a photo shoot. But I think that two spaces, if you're like a diehard collector, they can exist at the same time. It's not here to replace physical trading cards. It's almost here to kind of run side by side.
I'm not even worried about value at all, right? I mean, listen, why is the Canadian dollar valuable?
Yeah.
Right? Because they tell you it is, and because there's supply and demand for it.
Yeah, and like the shoe, you sign your signed shoes in the background; those have
Yeah,
inherent value too. But I can go buy a golf shoe and get someone
right.
to sign it. Like
A, a
it's all about
trading card
scarcity.
is a piece of cardboard. Why is
Right.
that valuable? Because people will pay for it. So I'm not even worried about the value of it. Actually, I do really like the idea of this. I think this is, I really like this blueprint. I'm personally, I'd be a little bit worried about the licensing of the NBA stuff. I think this will expand into a lot of things that get on the blockchain, a lot of things that it's just going to be like more and more digital art, which I think is kind of interesting. And people are going to there's going to be marketplaces set up for them, whether they're
There's
digital Funko dolls or like what, like, I don't
there's
know
so
what it
much
is.
already. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. The big thing right now, like I don't even want to really talk about it because I don't know much about it. But like those crypto punks, which is like apparently like the original, like the first ever NFT. Like I don't know. There's people who are spending like millions of dollars on them, but digital art is again something very interesting. I was cruising through a marketplace today of digital art, and like the things you can do with digital art that you can't do with physical art is just like the 3D animation aspect to it. So I don't know. There's like people like you can create a showroom with VR and all of your digital art inside of that showroom. It's just like
Cool.
another step you could take. I'm sure at some point there's gonna be like I don't know if you just have like a monitor going all the time and your digital art kind of flips through. And you could have like a rotating wheel of your art in like one room. And instead of needing 500 pictures, you have one and it just kind of cycles through and you own those pictures, which I think is kind of an interesting idea as well.
I like this. I've not gotten into NBA Top Shot to this point. Why
It's
is it?
insane.
Why
It's
is it
insane.
that literally, from what I understand on Twitter, just from what I see on Twitter, why is every time there's a new release, the site goes down?
It's I don't know like the scaling aspect or what goes on behind the scenes, but it's literally like 50,000 people clicking the same button at the same time. So I don't know how that works.
So how is it supposed to work? You get into a queue and then like
yeah,
it's randomized. Like, how is it supposed to determine? So talk me through, okay, they release a new pack or whatever, and I assume that pack is limited. And then everybody who wants to get in gets into a room and somehow it's determined that you're allowed to buy these or not.
So it used to be going back, like when my brother first told me about it in like December, I was like, whatever. He didn't explain it well. And then when I first got it, it was just like, there was a pack there, you click it and open it and it was smooth, like there was no rush. But now, yeah, like you said, they tell you, or sometimes they don't, but everyone joins. It's like a waiting room. You jump into a waiting room and then basically they mix you all up and then give you a number, assign you a number, and away you go. If there's 50,000 packs and you're 50,000 in number one, you probably won't get it.
Does it matter about like when you get into the room, or is it just like everybody? Okay.
It used to be like a mad dash, like click, 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 like as soon as like the clock struck 12. But now they give you like a 15-minute grace period where you can join at some point. And then it's pretty much just comes down to a lottery, because honestly, right now, that's what it is. Like, it's just, in a way, I don't want to use the term free money, but you spend $10 and you pretty much can turn that into 100 really quickly.
Oh, I like that. I might have to get on this. So
yeah,
if it was first come, first serve, I assume it would just be like 50,000 bots would get all this stuff anyway. So I like that there's a random
too. They had one last week where they were going to do it, and then they got like a flurry of new signups, which were all bots that were about to like kind of take over the entire drop, so they had to like postpone it like 6 hours. So they've had those issues.
Interesting.
So they're definitely still working out a lot of kinks, and not everything's perfect, but I'm just fascinated by the kind of the idea of it, because I think there is, maybe I'm not the generation, but there is a generation of people who do everything on their phone.
Sure.
And online. They don't, the thought of like printing out like having a physical card to them or whatever, like everything's video clips, pictures on their phones. Like there's nothing printed anymore, like newspapers, magazines, those are just not a thing anymore. So everything is now going to be at some point probably digital.
I read the articles about, the $75,000 clip, or LeBron does whatever, or this is limited, but seemingly even like some of them I see as like a backup center I've never heard of makes a routine pass. So, and that is valuable. Like that is not
my
worth
issue. My kind of issue, I think as it grows, those will kind of become more like less and less valuable. Like just like a random dude making a layup in the middle of a third quarter like means nothing. So for me, when I first heard about it, I was just like, okay, that'd be cool to get like they've actually started to do this where they'll be like the guy's first NBA basket. Like LaMelo Ball right now, his rookie moment is his first assist, even though it's a terrible assist.
Instead of like a rookie like a rookie moment, like his first. That's pretty cool.
Like that's what I thought it would be initially. And if you think about it in baseball or football, if this becomes a thing, like his first touchdown pass, like if Justin Herbert threw a first touchdown pass, you put that in a moment, you only make like 1,000 of them, and then that's inherent, like that is valuable because that's literally his first thing. Or like maybe later on, like a good example is Kawhi Leonard's 10,000th point is a moment. Kevin Durant's first points with the Nets is a moment. So like they've become a little more.
I like that.
They're figuring out like what moments are important. One of the biggest ones on the site is LeBron's. LeBron did like a tribute dunk to Kobe in the first game back at Staples Center after Kobe died.
Okay.
So they made that into a moment.
And that's probably like through the roof, right?
Yeah, like that's probably one of the most popular ones. So there is value in the moment itself. And like when you think about a picture is a still picture, which is what a card is, like it's cool. It doesn't move or anything, but you go back and kind of relive the moment, if you will. There's something a little more interactive about that is kind of fascinating. And like if you think about golf, like you could do like a guy's first win.
This was my next question.
Would be like the drive on 16 at PGA, if that was like his first major moment or whatever. Like you could do a lot of those. There's a lot of moments in golf if you want to think about it potentially going into golf, but I think golf's so slow they'll never get this advanced.
No, they won't. But let's play the game. So my question was going to be, if there was a PGA Top Shot, what would be some of the more valuable moments?
The thing is, the PGA Tour doesn't own all the valuable tournaments, so you'd have to do it through the Masters. You'd have to do it through Augusta, or
this is never going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you'd have like the players tournaments would be the best moments. So the only one I could think of, if you did like and they do this in Top Shot, it was called like Run It Back. So they go back to like legendary players' first games. So you could do like Tiger or that putt on 17. Like that would be like probably the best moment. But
that would be the best, or like his chip. If you could throw every tournament.
Oh yeah, if you could get every tournament, Augusta, even him tapping in on 19 at the Masters in 2019.
It would be cool though. Like so like Matthew Wolff making eagle on the 72nd hole at the 3M would also be his rookie moment win, so to speak, right? Because you probably wouldn't want like the video of his first tee shot, which would kind of be boring. Right. But like that, cool. That would be sweet in his rookie year to have that winning moment. I think like that type of thought about like kind of encapsulating a moment is what's interesting to me about it. That's like 59 rounds would be great. Like the putt to shoot 59, I feel like would be cool. I mean, this I really like this. I wish this was gonna come to PGA. I wish I was more of a basketball guy. Like this, honestly, it doesn't interest me that much. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, this is like LeBron dunked it or whatever. Like I see the value in it. I like the idea of it, but like I'm not all that interested in it.
Yeah, that's like if you had to rank the sports, basketball would probably be low on my list. I find like the whole concept of it rather interesting, and if you're early enough, there's money to be made. But it's just kind of, it's very unique and booming right now, so it's kind of just something to do. And maybe it dies in like a year or two, I don't know, but it could easily do that. But right now it's fun and interesting.
At the very least, what I hope it does is spark a lot of innovation in the space, right? People are going to try other things. Like, the first person through the wall usually ends up with a bloody face, right? That's the saying, right? So if NBA Top Shot is the first one through the wall, maybe they survive, maybe they are awesome in 10 years and this is the new thing and they were the first one, or maybe this spurs, 12 kind of spin-off things and one of those or two of those or six of those catch on, and now we kind of have an industry of these that make it better for everybody, because obviously competition is good.
I just think like if the NFL did it, there are so many that's like obviously massive, and there's just so many players, so many moments, and maybe that takes away from people who are interested in Top Shot right now because they're not basketball fans. They're just doing it for the collectible idea of it. So maybe if more sports jump on, there's only a certain X amount of dollars in the entire space, and right now it's all on one sport and all on one site. So maybe if there's more competitors, it starts to diminish other value of other aspects or whatever in the space. I'm not sure exactly how that would work, but there's just a lot of possibility. So it's something I keep my eye on. There's a few there's some closet Top Shot fans in the PGA world that we DM back and forth about. It's fun. We keep it low key. I try to keep the Twitter feed strictly about golf. But
I mean, it's pretty cool. And like you can go on and see other people, like it has a real viral, like I know why this got popular, right? Like you can go on and see people open their packs. That's part of it. Like I completely understand. I wish I was more interested in the NBA. I wish I got onto it a little bit earlier. But like, I completely get why this is currently so popular.
One thing I would have changed is like, I can go on and look at the best moment that is in existence if it's for sale.
I just did that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would think if I want to, I don't know, to enhance the ownership of the moment, like blur out the moment that's for sale or like shorten the clip or something, because like, there's just something about like we said you can go look at the most expensive trading cards too. Like, you obviously don't own it, but at the same time, you kind of get the satisfaction of looking at the picture. But so for this, it'd be like, damn, it's blurry. I can't really see it all. Like I
really want to buy it.
I need like the full, that's the only thing that like kind of irks me is like, I can go see it. I don't even need to buy it. I can just go look at someone else's collection.
So we can wrap this up here shortly, but I'm just curious. Like, so LeBron moment, it says edition size 32. So there's 32 of these in existence. And it's the one I'm looking at is 250,000 or listed at $250,000. So like, do you just come across these in, I assume they're not like base packs. I'm sure there's like more expensive packs and then they're kind of randomly distributed within those expensive packs.
Yeah. So when it was early in the early days, these packs were like $230 and no one was really on the site opening them. So that one you're talking about, yeah, $230 pack. Now that same pack would run you $1,000. So that's where the price jump is, but yeah, you're just never going to get, and that's like series 1. So that was like the first ever series made. So you're just that moment there is never going to get reproduced again. So,
well, and do we know if all 32 have been pulled at this point? Like, is there a thing that says
there's
like,
a way to check? Yeah. Okay. I don't have it in front of me. There's one for sale. Yeah.
There's one for sale, but I don't know if that means
there are people who have like those $230 packs right now that they're sitting on. And because there is going to be a point where you can just sell packs. So
well, that's like Michael Jordan's rookie pack, like the pack alone or like a box alone, where like Michael Jordan's rookie card might be in here.
Yeah. So there is a way to track that. So if someone has the pack from that series and there's one left and there's 3 packs, you have like a 1 in 3 chance of potentially getting that LeBron moment. So yeah.
Got it. Okay. I do think that I think they've all been pulled because I'm looking at it and I'm going through the serial numbers and it looks like they're all there. It tells you who has it, which is kind of cool. And then also there's like, I guess there's value in the jersey number. So the guy who has number 23 of it, that's more valuable.
That's a thing in trading cards as well. You want number 1 or the jersey number, and that's what it adds extra value to the serial number in itself. But for me, if I don't have like one, but I guess in the blockchain world, it's even more valuable because number 1 is typically the one that was first created. Whereas in the trading card world, you can print them all out and then they sit there and then a stamp comes by and just hammers a stamp. You don't really know which one was made first, but in the crypto space, they actually do know what one was made first. So there is value in that as well. But that's high level money. We're not even close to that. So
very, very interesting. Thank you for the education, Eric Patterson.
I hope I didn't out myself as a fraud in the entire space.
I'm sure someone will tell us if you did. But this is pretty cool. I'm very interested. I'll keep a close eye, but I do not have an account yet. That might change soon.
You don't have time for any of this stuff.
It
You
seems
collect your South Korean signature shoes, and away
Yeah.
you go. You corner that.
I've got that market cornered, my man. Once Sungjae or Benyon win a major, those shoes are going up
or
for
a gold
sale.
medal. You need a gold medal, and then the South Korean market will be coming at your door.
Oh, love it. It'll be on eBay the next morning. Eric Patterson, you can find his work at The Score. You can follow him on Twitter at EPACGolf. You can read his Quick 9, which will be linked in the description below. As always, much appreciated, Eric.
Anytime, yeah. Enjoy the rest of the week.
All right. This has been 300 Yards to Unknown. See ya.